With the aspiration of becoming the first smart city in Africa, Nigeria's Lagos State signed an MOU with the city of Dubai to develop sustainable, smart, and globally connected knowledge-based communities to drive the knowledge economy. CNBC Africa spoke to Ademola Abass, Special Advisor, Lagos State Global, to get more insight on this deal.
It's a huge innovative project that Lagos State, with the collaboration of the Dubai Smart City, intend to embark upon. But let me clarify one thing. The Dubai Smart City is a parent company of Lagos Smart City.
Right.
So Lagos Smart City, which is birthed in Lagos here, is going to anchor the implementation of that project itself. Of course, with the involvement of the Dubai Smart City, which is their parent company.
Right. So does that imply that this project will be owned by Lagos State, or
well,
what's the implication?
Well, the implication of that is the fact that there's a company here called Lagos Smart City, which is an offshoot of Dubai Smart City.
Right.
So they are going to be the, so to say, the implementer of that project in Lagos here. But we, Lagos State, as a state, we have our own contribution in terms of equity, especially in terms of the land mass that we are giving to them to be able to site the project itself. But the project is 100% driven by the Dubai Smart City, that is Lagos Smart City, basically in terms of the level of investment that we envisage. They are going to provide almost everything in terms of investment for Lagos State for that.
Right.
You know, then you also wanted to know what this entails and why Lagos State. It's a huge project. It encompasses, as I said, it's a vision when you talk about a smart city. But let me first say that that will be the first smart city in Africa continent if it comes on board, and we know definitely it's going to come on board. The people who are doing it just completed 2 smart cities in the world, one in Malta and one in Kochi, India. Fantastic smart cities that they've done. So they're not starting from ground zero as far as the idea itself is concerned. What does it involve? A lot of things, as I said, is bringing together in a technological manner information management, communication management, ICT, transportation aspect, networking aspect, to make a city run more efficiently, to make a government better relate and talk to its citizens without using the manual, means of communication or movement and so on and so forth. There's going to be a lot of articulation of the meat, so to say, of the project in time. And I think that will be spearheaded by my office, since my office drove the whole, that is the Office of the Overseas Affairs and Investment, as you know, otherwise called Lagos Global. Yeah. Drove that. So we are going to do a lot of articulation so that our people will understand what a smart city does, what it means, what and what are included in it. Then the final part of your question is why Lagos? But the question should be why not Lagos? In the sense that if it's going to be any city in Africa, Lagos is ripe to be the city that would. Lagos is on the rise. We've got a population. When you're talking about smart city, you're looking again in terms of the population, that you want to look at the advantages that that particular location naturally offers you. As an example, in terms of transportation, in terms of networking, Lagos has a huge networking system. As an example, look at mobile phone. If I'm not wrong, we have something close to about 170 million lines in Lagos State alone. In Nigeria alone, chunk of which is in Lagos State. So you have every single facility that will enable a smart city to actually take, solid root in Lagos here. So the question is, why not Lagos? Lagos is...
It's definitely an ambitious project, innovative, no doubt. But what can you tell us in terms of the investment flows that can come out of this? Everyone has been calling for investments back into Nigeria since this the turn of the government last year. What can we expect?
Well, we hope, and we are very, very positive, we're going to have a huge investment flow. We already have, as we will have been following, well-sustained investment flow into Nigeria and into Lagos State in particular, from different sectors, whether it's water transportation and so on and so forth. But on smart city alone, there's going to be a lot, because smart city as a concept is all-encompassing. You've got information, and ICT, information technology is going to be there. You've got transportation there. You've got education there. So you've got all those prime areas. You've got health, as an example. You've got all those key areas that our government focuses on in terms of attracting foreign and domestic investment, foreign investment in particular, into the state. So when you talk about smart city, people are going to want to invest in information technology, in tech villages, in technological education institutions, as an example. They want to invest massively in terms of transportation, the networking and so on and so forth. So you expect a lot of key players in the world to start flowing in, and they will come. As an example, the smart city themselves, they already have a line of those who want, to barge into these. So that we expect a huge information.
But there's no estimate or figure in terms of what we can expect in terms of billions of dollars.
Yeah, I know you want me to mention billions. What is interesting about the investment is it's very, very sometimes often quite difficult to calibrate in terms of dollars, in terms of naira and kobo. Yeah, it would be a bit premature for me to say now that we expect X billion of dollars. What I can tell you categorically is that on its own, the Dubai Smart City is going to spend billions of dollars on this. Right. Now, how many billions is too premature to say. Right. Just let's say we expect billions of dollars in terms of investment.
So what about the locals? How can one get integrated into this? Lagos State obviously has its own constituency, if you like. It has a very ambitious project to drive things like education, job creation, and so forth. How does this tie into all of that?
Well, yes. Number one, you have to understand that one of the things this government campaigned on vigorously during the campaigning period was government of inclusiveness. We want to make sure that everything we do as a government, our people are carried along. Not just carried along, they are well integrated into it. That is the vision of His Excellency, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, as a governor of Lagos State. And that is the vision that created the Lagos Global, my office, in the first place. So anything we are doing, the first thing in our mind is our people is important. Number one is there's going to be a lot of jobs. There's no doubt about that with this particular project that is coming on board, that is the Smart City. Of course, there are other projects, there are other investments that you have people that are going to, we have millions of our people that will benefit from that, no doubt about that. But this in particular, because of its all-encompassing nature, because it moves, it includes, information, it includes education, it includes health, it includes transportation. So you're going to create mammoth of jobs for our people. But in terms of how do they connect, with this, as I said, there's going to be a further articulation, of the Smart City itself. I think I would say, let's hold on to our breath until we have unpacked, what Smart City means for the state, for Lagos State, what it means for our people. Then we'll be able to tell the people specifically, this is how you actually connect to this in terms of you want to render services to the state, on this project, this is how you go about it, and so on and so forth.
But how soon can we anticipate that articulation? When can we hear more?
To be honest with you, I wanted it to start like yesterday. But look, when you are talking about investment that, is going to bring in billions of dollars into your country, into your state, a lot of things have to be put in place. You talk about the policies, you talk about the laws, you talk about the regulation, you talk about putting the investment together in its own, and so on. There's so many things that have to come, into place. The governor is also very, very impatient as a person. They want all investment to come to start working today, and that is a bug every one of us has caught from him. You want this to start today. But I can assure you, is the fact, one thing I can assure you is that we're not going to start a project we are not going to complete, that we have no intention of seeing through. That is a governing dynamic of this government. When we promised to start to do a flyover in Ajah and in Agege side, we committed almost 30% of the budget straight away, and both of them have already started working. When we talk about Oshodi, Oshodi, we've already mobilized for Oshodi. So this is not any different. Of course, maybe the sums are different. But the good thing is, one thing that we've been lucky with is that investors have confidence in Lagos State. So they don't really ask us for a penny. They want to bring their money. Our job as a government is to provide an enabling environment for them. That is what my office facilitates, to make sure that they have confidence in us, in our security system, in our regulation, in how we do business, in how we create ease of doing business environment for them to tackle in. So we have to do all those things. We have to make sure we follow due diligence in everything we are doing.
Earlier you mentioned that we're already seeing investment flowing into Lagos State, and it will be really interesting to hear your thoughts on how what has happened with the forex exchange policy impacts those flows. Have we seen investors react positively to this, and what are your broad expectations in terms of how this will impact flows in the future?
Thanks a lot. There are two things there. In terms of broad expectations, they are one thing on the one hand. Of course, I will expect that investors should start, showing more confidence in Nigeria as a country. This is not just Lagos State alone, in Nigeria as a country. But in terms of what flow have we seen, these are early days. It's too way too soon to begin to measure, because we are talking about a change in direction which only occurred just about 10 days ago, if I'm not wrong, just about a few days ago.
Less than 2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks. So that is way too early to start measuring, you know. But notwithstanding, I think we begin to see that people are becoming more and more calm. People are beginning more, okay, you know what, I think there is something we can begin to deal with here. You know, I think that in the long term is going to pay Nigeria better.